everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fashion Grunge podcast. I am your host, Lauren. And guess what? Charles is here
Hey.
today. What's up? We're talking Single White Female, the amazing erotic thriller from 1992, starring Bridget Fonda and Jennifer Jason Leigh, directed by Barbet Schroeder, who also did Murder by Numbers.
Oh yeah, and you know what he also did? He also directed that movie Reversal of Fortune, which is about
Oh, the one with Jeremy Irons?
yeah, with that was about the Klaus von Bülow story,
Mm-hmm.
which is such a great movie too.
Yeah. And it's a good one. I literally just finished watching it. When did you watch it, Charles?
Single White Female.
Yeah. Did you watch it
Um,
yesterday?
yeah, I watched it. I watched it yesterday twice.
Oh, okay, cool. I need to probably start watching things twice. I'm doing the next episode I'm recording tomorrow. Me and Mike are gonna do Scream 2.
Oh, nice.
And I was just like, and he was talking to me about it, and I was like, yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I was like, but I need to watch it just like once, just watch it, and then like take notes the second time because
Yeah.
I'm too busy like trying to write everything down. But yeah, what else have you been up to?
So
What have
I've
you been
been
watching?
so this this is a documentary that I heard about on Netflix called Athlete A, and it's
Oh,
like and
oh, the
it's
gymnastics one.
yeah, and it's about like the gymnast who like originally came forward to report the abuse by the doctor.
Oh
And
God.
it's such a horrible story, but the athlete who came forward is just such like a wonderful human being, and
Wait, what's their name?
her name is Maggie Nichols.
So was
And
she an Olympic gymnast or no?
no, well, she reported the abuse to her coach in 2015, and then she had an injury and kind of had to take some time off, and she probably had to process like the abuse she was going through too, and then she kind of recovered and then came back and did fairly well at the Olympic trials, but was not placed on the team, and it's like
Really? Like,
yeah.
did she get enough points to qualify? Like, why did they not put her on the team?
Well, it's sort of implied in the documentary that she wasn't placed on the team because she reported the abuse in the first place.
What?
Yeah, yeah,
No way. Oh, I
yeah.
thought it was gonna be like really. I thought it was gonna be kind of like the Epstein Netflix documentary, but like, is it really good?
Um,
I thought it was gonna be really upset. I mean, I know it's gonna be upsetting.
yeah. I mean,
The subject matter is.
I don't enjoy hearing stories about the abuse itself, but
Yeah.
I do enjoy hearing stories about like all the story that's come out since it was exposed about like the cover up,
Yeah. I mean,
at
that's crazy.
at like USA Gymnastics and like at Michigan State,
Yeah.
and just about how like people had been reporting him for almost 20 years, and
That's
like
insane.
and
He's
it
never getting out, right?
no, I think he was essentially given a life sentence
God.
for it. So I mean he's like he's like probably going to die in prison. So
Yeah. Fuck,
yeah.
man. So it's a documentary. It's a series, right? It's not just like one movie.
No, it's just a documentary.
Oh, it's just a film. Okay, cool. I
Yeah.
thought it was a series.
Um
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, it's good. It's it's and apparently there's just been this whole reaction around the world where like gymnasts in like England and the Netherlands and in like Japan have been like coming forward to report like abuse from their coaches too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and so I think
So gymnastics is never going to be the same.
um no, I mean it's I mean hopefully it will be a lot safer for the athletes, but I mean it's not gymnastics itself that's the problem. It's the
Yeah.
people in it. So
God,
um
fucking shit, man.
yeah.
That's
Um
crazy.
and
Well, I feel like on every episode I talk about the same thing that I'm watching, but I'm still watching that Vow show about that
oh
Nexium cult.
oh yeah, no, I heard that's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So I won't talk at length. I feel like every episode I say about the same things I'm watching. But yeah, I guess there's nothing crazy new that I'm trying to think of anything new that I've watched, like or seen or anything like that, I guess. There's this
Um
new Showtime show that's coming out. I saw a trailer for it that looks pretty good. I think it's called, I'm gonna have to look it up. It's about like John Brown, like the first abolitionist.
oh really?
Yeah, and that's played by Ethan Hawke.
Oh, okay.
And it's like I'm trying to think of. Let me see. It's called The Good Lord Bird, and
Oh,
it starts in October, I think.
okay. That sounds good.
But yeah, it looks pretty good. Like Daveed Diggs is playing Frederick Douglass. There's a few other like new actors in there, but that looks pretty good. And I think they like shot it like in Virginia and stuff like that. So
Okay.
that looks pretty good. And I saw the Dune trailer. Did you see the Dune trailer?
No, is oh,
Oh
I
fuck.
didn't realize they were turning that into a movie.
Yeah, they're doing a second one. I guess the first one's from like what, the 80s, from like
Okay.
early 80s, I think. I'm not a huge I'm not a big I don't want to say fan of sci-fi because I do like sci-fi, but I don't know that many films. Like I haven't watched that many of them.
Yeah.
Blade Runner being one that I have not seen that I need to see.
I
But the
I
first one, like the original.
yeah, I felt like Blade Runner got like built up as this like great movie, and I saw
That's what
it,
I'm thinking,
and
yeah.
it was, I don't know, it was good. I mean, it didn't like blow me away, but I imagine if you saw it in the theater in 1982, it probably would.
Well, yeah, just because of like, yeah, the whole vibe, the whole
Um,
futuristic vibe. But now we're so far in advance from when they made it. So I get the technology would be really good on this recent one they did, like 2049 or something.
yeah.
But yeah, I still haven't seen Blade Runner, but but Dune looks like a more advanced and more in the weeds Blade Runner. Like
Oh,
real,
okay.
I think that the year in Dune is supposed to be like 10,100 something. Like
Oh,
it,
really?
yeah, like it's very far in advance.
Cool.
I'll text you
Okay.
the trailer. It looks really cool, and like Timothy Chalamet is in it, Jason Momoa, Zendaya,
Oh,
Oscar
nice.
Isaac. It's directed by. It's literally like the biggest trailer. Like this week, it's what everyone's been talking about. It's
Cool.
directed by Denis Villeneuve. Villeneuve, I think he's French.
Oh, was he the same director who did Blue Valentine?
No, that's Derek
Okay.
something. Wait, this is the guy who actually did the most recent Blade Runner.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
he also did Arrival and Sicario, Prisoner's Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal, and some other
I
Canadian independents.
I saw Arrival and I thought it was good. Um,
Is Jennifer Lawrence in that?
no, it's Amy Adams and
Oh,
Jeremy
Amy
Renner.
Adams.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so it seems pretty cool. It seems like that's going to be. Yeah, I'll send it to you. The trailer looks pretty dope.
Okay, cool.
Pretty dope. But let's get into single white female. I don't know. First of all, have you ever heard it as referred to as a verb?
Oh yeah, I think I've heard it referred to as a verb before I actually saw the movie.
Yeah, me too. I think I knew what single white female meant before I'd actually seen it.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, it means someone who is essentially completely obsessed with you, trying to take your personality and kill everyone around you and kind of like absorb themselves into you for a not so, first, a seemingly irrational reason, but then when you kind of find out more about Hedy slash Ellen,
Hmm.
you kind of like, not, I don't want to say you understand, but it's not out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's just this random girl who's like just a drifter and being insane. Like there is a backstory and it becomes a little bit more like, oh, okay.
I
Um
I thought in terms of like psychotic antagonist, she was on the more sympathetic side.
yeah, I think
Um,
so.
yeah,
Because you kind of feel that like you also see that people in the story, like especially the neighbor Graham upstairs, like he's trying to get her help.
yeah,
Like everyone's constantly just know that it's something like there's something mentally that might not be right and that she needs help, not like, oh my god, let's kill her or let's call the cops and
yeah.
like, just have her taken away. So yeah, that is true, but I just wanted to know if you'd heard of it as a verb. When did you first see it? What are your first thoughts about it?
So I think I first saw it about 2 weeks ago for the first time.
No way.
Yeah.
Like before I told you about it, or did you watch it like when I was
Um,
talking to you about
I
it?
think you had told me you wanted to do it. And I was like, okay, I should probably watch the movie at some point.
Oh
So,
shit, I thought you'd
um,
seen it.
no, no, no.
Oh wow,
I
cool.
was sort of familiar with the story, so it wasn't like, it wasn't like shocking, but I was like, oh right, this was kind of a big deal. So
Yeah, it was totally a big deal, yeah. Wow, that's so cool. Okay, well, I first rented it on DVD like through the mail and Netflix when you had to like send them away because I had
nice.
heard that it was so, like Yeah, I heard it as a verb, and I just knew it was one of those films that I was like, oh, cool, one of those like '90s films. I remember when I first watched it, thinking it was way slower than a lot of things that I had seen before. Like, but then I also just like, I mean, I don't. We're gonna talk about it at length, but like this goddamn apartment is literally like the third star of the film.
Oh, I know. I have to be honest. I wasn't like super impressed by it at first, but but as the tension in the movie build, I just became more attached to it.
Obsessed.
Yeah, no, like and it's rent controlled. She has like a rent controlled apartment in New York City, and it's not
This
like
was this
it's
was my huge this was my huge question, which we'll get into in a second when we get into the plot point, because we'll find out pretty soon. But I had a question about how she acquired this rent control apartment, which we'll
yeah.
get to. But I'm just gonna say that one awesome note that I have to notice, which I guess could be considered in a '90s moment, but I just wanted to point this out. Allie, when she has that security system on her fashion program that somehow deletes everyone's files and shuts down if payment is late, is
Yeah,
boss.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's pretty amazing that she managed to do that in like 1992.
yeah,
Like, she'd managed to hack this program together. If only they could do that nowadays, it'd be pretty amazing.
yeah. I
You
know.
just like take people's work if they don't pay you on time. Bridget Fonda, she did Singles right after this, which is one that we still have to cover on the pod, which we will. I don't know who wants to watch Singles. I feel like Jai, I don't think has heard of it. I'm kind of curious to know what she would think about it.
Singles is it's like all about like 20 somethings in like early 90s Seattle, right?
Yup,
Yeah.
with Cameron Crowe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's very on brand, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So like I know we should do it just based on the soundtrack alone, and also the fact that like Nirvana, they asked Nirvana to be on the soundtrack and they were like, fuck no. We don't want to do some dumbass Hollywood movie about grunge. And it's kind of funny that like Pearl Jam and I think Chris Cornell is in a scene, and then like Alice in Chains. It's like every other band.
Yeah.
One of the other bands but Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins are on the soundtrack too, but I think that's kind of funny. So yeah, so I haven't really seen that much of Bridget Fonda
Um,
outside of this. She stopped acting in the early 2000s.
oh yeah, so she was like a pretty big star in like the mid 90s.
Yeah, what
I
have you seen her in?
so I've seen her in Point of No Return, which is sort of like a American remake of the French movie La Femme Nikita. Um,
Oh, okay.
and it's like I think she plays like a drug addict, and like this like secret government agency like fakes her death, and she turns into and they train her to be an assassin.
Oh
um
shit.
yeah, and yeah, it's good.
That sounds good.
And then Bridget Fonda was also in Jackie Brown, which is probably one of my
Oh
favorite
yeah, I
movies.
haven't seen that in so long. We should do it though.
And then she was also in this great movie that I really love called A Simple Plan that
Yeah,
came out
what
in.
is that?
So it's a great movie. It has like Bill Paxton in it and Billy Bob
Oh, I
Thornton,
love him.
and it's about these like three friends who are out hunting, and they come across a plane that has crashed in the woods, and the pilot and the passenger are dead, and they find a suitcase full of like $4 million, and
What?
so they basically take the money, and it's just kind of like one of these movies where everything just gets worse and worse, and
Oh shit.
it sort of reminded me of the plot of like clay pigeons, like just
That
like
movie's so funny.
I know, right?
I have it on DVD. Oh, we should do that. Oh really? Oh, I'm gonna bookmark this.
Yeah, it's good. It's really really good.
Yeah, I want to see that. Okay,
um
cool.
except it's like not funny, it's like
Yeah, dark.
yeah, it gets like really heavy. But yeah, yeah,
Nice. Now, have you Jennifer Jason Leigh? I knew from Fast Times, which is '82, one of my favorite films ever.
yeah,
Also directed by Amy Heckerling, same woman who directed Clueless, and written by Cameron Crowe, same person who did Singles. So it's very like incestuous here.
oh, I didn't realize that Cameron Crowe wrote Pastimes.
Yes, from a
Oh, cool.
book. Yeah, he wrote Fast Times and she directed it.
Nice.
So yeah, a lot of like incestuous stuff going on, like different directors and stuff directing and writing different things in like the 80s and 90s, which is pretty cool. So I knew her from that, but she also was in that new Tarantino film, The Hateful Eight, that she
Yeah.
was nominated for an Oscar
Well,
for.
she's been around for so long that was so great to see
Yeah.
her finally get nominated for something.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
say I mean, she was great.
yeah. She was also in the movie Dolores Claiborne that came out in 1995. That was based on Stephen King novel.
Oh wow,
Um,
I didn't see that.
it's really good. And then she's also in this movie called Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle, which is where she plays the writer slash humorist Dorothy Parker, and about like her like group of like horrible like friends that just kind of sit around and get drunk and just like say horrible things about people. And
Really?
yeah, and those are the people that eventually formed the New Yorker magazine. So
What?
yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
I had a friend in college named Rosie, who she like had this really awesome like act where she would like get on stage and like her friend would she would start screaming Dorothy Parker poetry like as at the top of her lungs, and behind her her friend would be accompanying along with her accordion. So
Wait, did people know what these quotes were from?
I don't know. They seem to really appreciate it. So
Oh my god, that's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah,
Gosh. Well, yeah, and then if you look in Jennifer Jason Leigh's IMDb, like she definitely has you've definitely seen a ton of her in
yeah.
a lot of films. Yeah. That's so cool though that she finally got nominated. I was going to say she won the MTV award that year, MTV Movie Award for Best Villain
Well,
for single white
I
female.
mean, if she won the MTV award, then who cares about a goddamn Oscar?
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
right. She won the MTV award, so she's officially cool. And I have that the budget for this film was $16 million, which where do they spend it? Because that has to be a real apartment, right?
I thought I read somewhere that the interior shots were like filmed at the studio, but like the like street shots and like the stairwell shots were like filmed.
We're a real building.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not a real apartment. Oh,
But
it's so
it
nice.
could be a real apartment.
It's really fucking big though. It's like Versailles
Yeah,
in an apartment. Like the size of the rooms are just massive. Okay, wait, hold on. We'll get to that.
yeah,
Okay, so it opened number 2 at the box office behind Unforgiven, and eventually it made $48 million.
yeah. Not too shabby.
Yeah, not too bad. So, let's see. Now let's get into the plot. So it opens with these twin girls, like these two twin girls, like putting on makeup, which
Mhm.
you're like, what the hell? What's going on here? Eventually, we'll figure out about like that kind of symbolism, and then you just see this like slow pan into this amazing view of this building in
Yeah.
Manhattan, and it's like this. You know what? It looks like the building that they also use for like Cruel Intentions, like the
Oh,
place
right.
that they live in that movie, which we also have to do. But because when they pull up to this really old, like gothic looking building that are
Mhm.
on the west side
Yeah.
of Manhattan. But yeah,
Oh, I wanted to ask you, what part of New York is this building supposed to be in?
it's on the Upper West Side. It's on West 74th.
Okay,
I think I saw the address at one point.
is the Upper West Side like the rich part?
It's good. Yeah,
Okay,
it's nice.
okay,
Like it's yeah, I mean, it is the rich part.
okay.
It's not. It's just right west of Central Park,
Mhm.
and like most people think of like Upper East Side as being like where all the wealthy people live, but like the Upper West Side has like real amazing places as well. It's like both nice.
So is
Yeah.
the Upper East Side kind of like Potomac, and the Upper East Side is like Chevy Chase?
It's kind of reversed.
Oh, okay,
The Upper East Side is more conservative than the
okay,
Upper West Side. Upper West Side's like it would be considered more like bohemian. Like a lot of people have like a lot of people in the 70s who had like artist parents like grew up on the Upper West Side.
okay.
Upper East Side is like old money. Like
Oh, okay.
that's the old trope of like what it means. Like that's obviously not what the neighborhood's like anymore. Who knows? But I mean everyone's everywhere, but that's like the trope of like, Fifth Avenue, Madison Avenue, that's Upper East Side. That's like, those fancy boutiques and the Whitney, the Met,
Mhm.
like that's all on the East Side.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And the West Side has like the Natural History Museum and they have like Columbus Circle, Lincoln Center,
Okay.
like further up there. But
Oh
yeah,
God,
they're both really nice.
I've been to the Natural History Museum in New York, and it's so big.
Mhm.
It's just such a great museum.
And the
Um,
Met's really great. It's
yeah,
another one that's so big and so great. God, it's so weird to think that, we haven't traveled in so long
I know.
now because of this whole, like, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen, but, oh yeah, okay, so we pan in, so we're panning into this amazing building, and we see Sam and Allie, who is Steven Weber from Wings,
Yeah.
um, and I don't know what else, I mean, he's in some
Um,
films and stuff too. What
I
else has he been in?
I think the thing so I Wings is a show I like know about, but it
Same, I
like
never watched it.
I mean it would like be on in the background, but I never really watched it. But
Let me look him up.
I think what I know him from is that he's the narrator for the audiobook for It by Stephen King,
Oh,
and
okay.
he's really great. Um,
He was in that TV version of The Shining in like the
oh,
mid
okay.
90s. It was on like ABC. I remember seeing that. I'm
Okay.
looking now. He's in some cable shows like Ballers and just some like a lot of TV shows, NCIS. Like he's in a
Okay.
lot of things now.
Yeah.
He's working consistently.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's see. So yeah, we meet Allie, who we're gonna call him by character names now. So Allie is Bridget Fonda, and Sam is Steven Weber. So we meet them, and they're obviously like together, just had sex, talking about having children. Like, how
Mhm.
many kids do you want to have? How many kids do you want to have? Oh, blah blah blah. And you're like, oh, okay. And they're talking about marriage, and I think she's like, they've been dating for a while. Then his ex fucking calls and like old school like 90s moment alert, there's a voicemail, like an answering machine, and then you can hear like who's calling you and leaving the
Mhm.
message. So she hears and she's like, and it's literally Sam's ex-wife saying like, I don't mind you coming over, but you can't have sex with me and then just leave. I'm like, wow. I wrote, a little weird. His ex is calling in the middle of the night. Oh, so he's still sleeping with his ex. That's what I wrote. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I have to say, when old answering machines got phased out, like movies really lost a great plot device. Like, I mean,
That's true. Because you always can, like, yeah, that's so true. Because you always would see people either leaving messages, checking messages,
yeah.
like how they would receive information.
Oh my God! Like Bridget Fonda basically camps out in front of her machine for the entire movie. Like,
Mhm.
it's just
And
anyway.
like shops with I don't know what money. Like I'm very confused on her finances, which we'll get to in a second.
Well, apparently she doesn't have to pay rent, so for this
Yeah.
amazing apartment. So like,
Okay. I have. Okay, and then you find out that they do like a zoom in on the vent. Hint, hint. This will be an important plot point later. And
so
Graham,
ominous. That
so ominous. Also with the when they kind of make it an obvious point to tell you like, yes, this is how we close the elevator.
yeah.
Sometimes we need the screwdriver to help punch it out. Let me show you where the screwdriver usually hangs and how I punch out the door. This will be an effective point later. Like,
Yeah.
do not forget. So then neighbor Graham hears through the vents that they're fighting, and she's fighting with Sam, and she's like, oh my God, like, fuck you, you're still sleeping with your ex. She goes upstairs and she's like, Graham's like her friend who lives upstairs. She's like, oh, I want to sleep up here. So she sleeps in his place, and then she gets up and it's like 10 o'clock and she's like, oh fuck, I've got to go to this meeting. Allie is a software engineer, guys. She designs like software for fashion.
I guess.
I don't know. This is before Clueless when I saw that whole outfit thing going
Yeah.
on, but I'm assuming people who are into 90s fashion design, like maybe this is an important program, but I don't recognize it, but I wasn't into that. And then I wrote I was like, "Oh, early 90s New York. I love when you see her on the street and she's like
Mhm.
walking and it's super cool." And I was like, Allie's meeting with her software. And I wrote, "Wait, okay. So she got a rent controlled apartment in a business settlement?"
I was
she
looking
she had a partner. Yeah, she had a partner, and in I don't even know what she gave the partner, but it sounds like she did all the work. She got all the hardware, and like so she's able to sell her software to anyone else to make more money. And she got this rent controlled apartment, and it sounds like money, but
well,
yet
I'm
she's squabbling with this dude on how much money she's worth.
well, I'm wondering if like they lived together when they came up with the business idea, just because she doesn't really have any furniture throughout the
Yeah,
entire
she has
movie.
no
So
furniture.
I'm wondering if like the roommate left and basically took everything. I don't know, but
Yeah, we don't know. That was like a weird. And I said like she's getting lowballed on this deal because of fashion software. And I was like, so this guy Mitch, who she's trying to like sell this to in this company, knows about the settlement.
yeah.
Like, cause he actually lowballs her because he's like, please, I know you don't need the money. Like, we all know that deal you got. I was like, so is this in like Women's Wear Daily or like Wall Street Journal? Like the workings of this deal that this girl got
I
for
mean,
this software company? Like, it's really
I
strange.
guess New York is just a small town, and everyone,
Yeah.
knows everything. So I don't know.
And then I wrote, okay, so she's broken up with Sam. This is also a giant question mark on where the fuck Sam actually lives. Because, like, does he live in a hotel or does he live in the apartment with Allie? Because
Yeah.
he lived in the apartment with Allie, right?
So did they meet while he was married? Like, and he left his wife for her? Is that what's going on?
Is he legally divorced?
I I don't know.
Yeah, like, we don't know any of this. Like, does he have children? I
I
don't think
mean,
so.
I mean,
I don't think he has children with that first wife.
he seems like the kind of guy who would probably bring it up at some point. But
That's true,
I
yeah.
mean, but we just don't know.
She's like, I wrote, okay, they're broken up. Sam's moving out. She needs money to support. And I was like, what is she buying? Like, isn't she getting lowball, but she has this rent controlled apartment? Granted, that room, I mean, that fucking apartment has like 10 goddamn rooms.
I know, and they're like all huge.
They're huge.
Like
The windows are like bigger than my whole house.
I know.
They're massive. Like, I was like, this is like not an apartment. This is like Versailles. You see how tall those doors were? They were like
Mhm.
15 feet doors.
Yeah,
I was like, this is insane.
and I love how there's like that circular foyer when you first kind of walk in, and
Yeah.
it's just so nice. Like I
At
mean,
one point, I think I counted 10 steps for Hedy to go from the bathroom to answer the goddamn phone in the foyer. I
wow,
was like,
that
she's still walking. She's still stepping, people. She is crossing all the way. I don't know about everyone else, but I do not live in a massive house that has a foyer that takes 10 minutes to walk across. Like it's just so crazy. Yeah, so she needs money to support. So she does what anyone would do. This is pre Craigslist, which I don't even know if still exists anymore, pre Facebook, whatever. She takes out an ad in the paper to look for what? A single white female. Well, actually, no, she's a single white female
yeah.
looking for whatever. This sounds very much like a dating ad. I don't know why her race is important in a living roommate ad. Or did
Well,
she say she was seeking a single white female?
I believe the movie. I think the movie is based on a novel called SWF Seek Sane.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, you probably shouldn't put that in a newspaper ad. It's just kind of racist.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Yeah, it's just
like,
definitely kind of weird.
um, but yeah, and
But moving through that, she's illegally subletting her apartment to someone else.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I love when she has this amazing montage of potential roommates. And I figured Charles could speak to this because he has a lot of more recent experience with the prospect of
Uh, yeah. So
roommate speed dating,
I've
shall we say.
yes, I haven't been on Allie's side where I'm like renting the place out. I'm more on like the Jennifer Jason Lee side where I'm like trying to find a place to live. So, but
Trying to get people to like you in like 3 minutes or less.
yeah, and you like walk in, you're like, oh my god, hi, what's going on? Your hair is so cute. Ah.
Hoping that they're like, yeah, hey girl, and then you're like, awesome, they're cool. Or if you answer and it's like some frat dude.
Yeah, which I've done many times. It is not as fun as it sounds. So
You're like, hey man, you like open the door and there's just like a giant poster of like Fight Club and like Scarface on the wall, and you're like,
oh my god, they're such great movies. I relate to them so much.
I really, yeah, I really see myself in Tony Montana.
Oh my god,
So cool.
me and Al Pacino, we are like BFFs.
And they're like, yes, no. Can you imagine if they're like, yeah, we're looking forward to meeting you, Charles? I'm like,
um,
this is not what I expected.
I
But go on.
I did go to see this apartment in downtown Cho Chase, which,
Hmm.
and it's actually right around the corner from where Mike's old apartment was.
Oh, okay.
But the person who was renting it was like kind of a nerdy old guy. I'd say in his like mid to late 50s. And I like walk in. He's just like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And so he was like, "So this is the apartment, and you know it's like nice. It's like a really great location." And one of the things that he specified in his ad was that he was just like, "So I need the apartment to be like really quiet when I go to bed." And so then I was like, all right. And so then I asked him, well, what time do you go to bed? And he was like, as soon as possible.
What? As soon as possible? What does
Um,
that mean?
I guess as soon as the sun goes down, I don't know. But
Oh, did he like have a 9 to 5 job where he was gone?
I think he said he worked from home or something.
Oh, Jesus.
So anyway, I was like I was so torn because I was like I don't really like this person, but I love this apartment. I love the area, and I went through this whole like tug of war with my soul. I was like which way do I go? And I was like I can't move into this place. And so then I was like, hey, I think his name was like Josh or something. But I was like, "Hey, Josh, thanks for showing me the apartment, but I think I'm gonna have to pass." And then he wrote me back, and he was like, "I haven't offered you the apartment yet, but apparently you've made up your mind."
What? He said that?
Yeah, and so he was not pleased with me. He was like, "Well, now I have to find a new roommate," and I was like, "Yeah, but
Oh, you never said you were moving in.
you know, I don't owe you.
Yeah,
I don't owe you anything."
no. Oh, wow.
So
That's so crazy.
Um, but yeah, this part of finding a place to live is like it's like the most exciting and the worst at the same time.
It really is.
Like, I mean,
This whole roommate montage in this one was so weird because she just takes like random Polaroids of them. I was like, this is. I
yeah,
mean, I
and
know it helps out because obviously this is pre-internet, but it just felt weird.
and it's so organized. She like staples pictures to her applications, and
Yeah.
like I don't know. I personally thought she should have gone with the fourth person who showed up, who in the credits is just referred to as perfect applicant.
Is she
And
the blonde one?
yeah, she's
The
blonde,
blonde woman?
and it like says on her application like she was a law clerk, and I was like, I mean, come on,
Yeah, what the fuck?
she's going to pay rent on time. Like, I mean, she's quiet, she's very composed and mature. She's going to be a good roommate. You don't want a friend, you want a good roommate.
Yeah.
Like, I
She
mean,
has a job. She's probably not gonna care when you bang your fucking fiance next door
yeah, I
and
mean,
apparently are really loud. She's not gonna care about that.
I don't know. I also had a soft spot in my heart for the Butch biker chick.
Yeah, the one who was like, "Are you good with tools? I can fix this." I'm like, I wouldn't overlook her. She could fix everything that's wrong in the apartment.
I
Like,
mean,
to be fair.
you would not have to worry about security with her, and
Yeah, I think he'd be
so
totally fine. And I wrote, why are all the applicants so weird? And then, okay, we meet Hedy. She seems normal at first. I wrote, who cares about the busted faucet when you live there? Because like they like try to fix this busted faucet, and of course, like Allie's like, "Oh my god, it's spraying water everywhere!" And all Hedy does is open the cabinet and just turn off the valve, which is
yeah.
like not that hard. She's like, "Oh my god, thank you! It was spraying everywhere. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just use a wrench." I was like, "Bitch, get it fixed." What are you doing?
Can
You have rent control. Like
you like literally don't pay anything?
you don't pay anything. What the fuck?
Can we also just talk about Hetty's very d- dowdy outfit that she wears?
So dowdy. Is
I
that the
mean,
same dress that she puts on again at the end?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say.
it's like so dowdy, but it's like so perfectly '90s too. That's just like
So good.
whoa.
Yeah, it is pretty whoa. It's very much like Blossom wore that.
Oh my god, absolutely.
Like in just a brighter color, but that silhouette of like that like shapeless dress. That's like
Yeah.
long sleeve, like yeah. And of course her hair is just all like mousy
Oh,
and
and
just like blah.
she's like wearing the hat too, right? Or is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think she's wearing the hat, yeah, when she first meets her. And I
Um,
wrote, yikes, she got the apartment.
yeah,
So then she offers the apartment and then she's like, all right, let me give you a tour. And she takes her to the fucking basement. What the fuck is the basement of this building? I said, this is a horror movie.
yeah.
Like, what the, how big? It's a city block.
I know this thing is huge, but
It's
I,
massive.
on the opposite side, have to say, if you're a teenager living in this building, this would be a pretty cool place to hang out. Like,
Yeah, hang out. It definitely feels very much like the basement in Sunnydale High in season 7 of Buffy,
yeah,
but just bigger and like way taller ceilings.
yeah, and it's like there's so many like twists and turns. It's like amazing.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
maze. It's crazy. And then I was like, okay, so Hetty's moved in, and Allie just kind of tells Hetty that like you need new clothes and you dress like shit. I wrote, does she buy Hetty clothes? They're like in the shop, and then she kind of like picks out the same kind of outfits. Does she buy her clothes?
I don't
How does Hetty have money?
I don't
Well, she does get
know.
paid, I think, right?
Yeah,
Don't her parents like send her checks?
no,
I was like,
I don't think so because I thought that she was separated or not separated, but they weren't in contact. I don't know.
no, because she goes to like a PO box to cash checks. Because I think
Oh,
when they talk to the parents, when I think Allie gets a hold of the parents, and then the parents call back, and like you hear them on the side, and they're like, "We're gonna stop the checks
oh, you're
if
right.
you don't come back, and we promise no doctors this time." So I was like, they're still giving her money. They know she's gone from wherever she's from.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I guess they just don't want her to like starve. I don't know why they would like keep giving her money, but I guess they're assuming like she's staying somewhere, she's taking care of it. Like
Yeah,
that's how I guess how you would give money to people back in the day. Because
yeah.
you don't have like a debit card. You can't just transfer money. You just do like Western Union into like a PO box
These
and
the
then you
like
just get it.
the like '90s like solution to modern day problems now were so complicated.
So complicated, like Western Union, PO boxes, like telegrams way back in the
I
day,
know.
fucking voicemails, calling, the fucking weird computer shit. I love, like I have this highlighted as one of my scenes is when they plug in the computer to the phone line.
Yeah,
And they're like, yeah, just plug it in there. Just plug it in the modem. And it's like, boom, and you hear the like click. And then you hear them like, and then she's like on the internet. It's like so basic. And I was like, damn, this is 92. This is like real basic. This is like DOS.
yeah,
This is like MS DOS internet. This is
yeah,
like super, it's kind of crazy. And then I wrote, does Hetty work? Question mark.
yeah.
Like,
Because I thought there was that shot of her, like of Allie calling her later in the movie, where I guess she works in a bookstore or something.
yeah,
But
that's what I thought, right?
I was a little unclear if like she had just arrived in New York, or if she'd been there for a while.
She had suitcases, right?
Yeah, and also I was impressed she was able to pack her entire life into like basically like three suitcases.
Well,
Like,
later on, she does mention that this happened in Tampa.
oh, you're right.
So I don't know if she's just come from Tampa, like on the lam on the bus,
Oh, yeah,
or if she's actually moved and done this to someone else in the city, and this is like her second time. I don't know because we don't know where she's from. The only thing I would say that would be really good is that if we actually talked to someone outside of the parents, but actually someone who was friends with her or knew her, got in contact with Allie.
yeah, yeah,
Like it'd be good if there was a point in the story where she like tracks down someone who knew her and then that person can explain like what she did before or like the person in Tampa
yeah.
contacted her. Like that it would be really cool if we like found out and like, oh my god, she did this to me. Like she did X, Y, and Z, she did this, she did that. Like
Hmm.
that would be really cool
Yeah,
if we got that kind of like I guess piece to the puzzle.
yeah.
Let's see. So then this is why Allie is like not sympathetic at all. Allie goes fucking snooping
Hmm.
in Hetty's stuff in her closet, finds that box, that like what do you call it? Like the shoe
That,
box,
yeah,
and it has all this stuff on it. And then she also like tries on her perfume and like
hmm,
puts up her earrings. And I was like, what is she doing? And then of course she sees that her twin, I guess Hetty says that like I think Hetty comes in, she like sees her at the door, her like putting on her earrings and like her perfume.
yeah.
And she's like, hey. And then she's like, oh, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I was like, You were just what, bitch? What were you just? Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
were in her room.
Well, I guess there's that whole like, I guess there's that whole bonding thing they do where they kind of like find this lamp in the garbage can
Oh,
and
that's
like
right. Yeah.
store it. And I guess Allie like gets her a new lampshade kind of as like sort of a housewarming gift or something. But
Mhm.
I mean, still, I mean, it is your apartment, but
But like, why are you snooping in that room?
I mean, it does not make you look good. I mean,
No, it definitely doesn't. And then Hetty's just like, yeah, like I had a twin who was stillborn, and then she's like, I was supposed to be a twin, like, so I always feel like a part of me is missing. I was like, oh, geez, here we go.
oh God. Um, have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a twin?
Yeah, totally. Have you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think everyone probably has if you're not one.
I went to like grade school with two twin girls. Um,
Mhm. The
and
identical?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And they didn't really talk to people like that weren't themselves. So
really?
yeah, so I mean, I guess it's just sort of a shyness thing, but it's so weird because they just kind of like I don't know, like it was. I mean, I guess if you basically have a like identical clone by your side for your entire life, you don't really need anyone else. So like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's really yeah, I could never imagine.
Um, yeah, but it's sort of weird to imagine like someone who looks just like you and like is the complete opposite of like your personality. Like it's just I don't know. Like, can you imagine a like version of yourself who was like into I don't know like
Complete opposite stuff.
yeah like who like loved Julia Roberts and
Oh,
like
I don't
like
know if we could be friends.
yeah I know like,
I don't think I could be friends with a version of myself that liked Julia Roberts. I'm sorry, newsflash, people. I am not a fan, nor am I a fan of. There's a whole list. I was talking to Jai about this morning, and she was like, "You just like so many people, like so many actors." I was like, "I don't just like them as people. I just really think they're overrated actors." I mean, everybody has people like that. You just maybe don't admit it or think about it, but I definitely have a long list of people who I'm just like, meh, they
yeah
don't move me. They just don't move me, to do anything or to feel anything.
um
Um,
I feel like that about Wes Anderson. um
we can't even talk about Wes Anderson. He's so fucking stupid.
I don't get why people like him. Like,
I don't either. And please don't send any messages about how he's like the most amazing, quirky, eccentric director. I don't like it. I'm not going to get it. I don't want to get it.
yeah,
And
I don't know. It's just weird because like my family used to like drag me to like all these movies, and like most of them I liked, but like for some reason I had to go see the Royal Tenenbaums when I was like still in high school, and it was just like the worst experience. I didn't enjoy the movie. I didn't want to be there. I didn't care about what happened to the characters. I just wanted them all to die so I could go home. Like,
that's how I feel about like anything that I watch that Wes Anderson has on. They're just like, oh, it's so cute and quirky. I was like, it's pastel. That's what he
yeah,
does. I mean, it's
yeah.
not rocket science, people. He lives inside like a Polly Pocket heart. Like that's what it's a male Polly Pocket fantasy. That's essentially what Wes Anderson is. Like
Have,
it's just crazy.
have you seen that weird GIF of him at the Oscars with his weird clap?
Is that weird clap?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like
That's why
so
you haven't won, motherfucker.
it's
Because
so fucking
nobody.
creepy. I just don't get it.
It's so weird. I don't. Has he? He's never won Best Director or any of that.
I don't think he personally has won any awards. I think that the Grand Budapest Hotel won a bunch of like technical awards when it came
Oh,
out,
okay.
but
Like screenplay. Has he won any like adapted screenplay or
I
like
don't
original
I
screenplay?
don't believe so. And
Ha.
I know.
um. Oh yeah. So moving on to the story. So now, yeah, it's so weird that Allie's snooping, and then the next thing you know, Allie's just like she walks into the apartment, and like Hetty's bought a dog.
Buddy.
And Buddy, yeah, buys a dog Buddy. But it's so weird that she bought one. She has that receipt and said it was like $400 and she throws it in the trash. I was like, where is she getting $400 from?
I don't
That's a
know.
lot. That's a lot of money. But she buys this adorable little dog, and Allie's just like, ugh, God. She's like, better be able to take it back. Like, you can't have this here. And she's like, oh well, I'll make you get obsessed with this dog. And then she like watches her become attached to this dog. Yet when she's alone, she fucking kicks it.
I know. I
Like she
know.
literally like it comes around. I was like, this is terrible. I was like, I can't believe she's kicking this fucking dog.
I didn't like when she kicked the dog, but I did relate to her in that scene when she was like rage eating Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
I
And, like,
know, sitting at the table. I know. Like, yeah, I know. When she was like literally almost like robotically eating it. Like she was just like putting it up, taking it down, putting it up. I was like, oh
I
my
mean,
god.
I kind of feel like that was like a mirror image of myself during during like our last election night. So
Oh fuck. I don't even know what I'm gonna do this time. I don't
I don't either. I think you're telling you weren't going to watch, and I think I'm probably going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know that I can. Everybody out there in the US, like even if you're out of the country and you're still a US citizen, like fucking vote.
Mm-hmm.
And like get registered now, check your status now. Because yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. So just check your status to make sure you're registered because this is like really no joke right now.
Yeah.
Um and then I have, oh yeah, okay. So then she gets the dog. Obviously, Hetty's watching her get attached. Then they have this. I wrote they're in this essentially like non-sexual like relationship in
Yeah.
that weird montage where they're like with the dog and like family portrait. Let's take a Polaroid. And we're watching like old movies and like running around. We've got this amazing dog, and then she's like cat sitting for Graham. Allie is, and she's like got his keys. And then I wrote Allie's always shopping.
Yeah.
She like comes home and Sam is there. And he's like, hey. And then Hetty's just like, yeah, I was trying to tell you that like he was here, but like if you want me to stay, I'll stay. Or if if you want to talk to him. And she's like, no, that's okay, you can go. So then she stays and they get fucking back together.
Yeah.
And of course, when Hedy first rents the place, which is really interesting and totally a valid question, she's like, hey, I just want to make sure like it's over between you and that guy because like I'm not trying to move in somewhere and then I'm out on the street because you get back with him. Well, guess what? That's totally what fucking happens.
Yeah.
Like, and
I
it's
mean,
totally valid for her to ask
oh
that
yeah,
too.
yeah, absolutely.
And then there's just a montage that like I wrote, oh my god, that's when Hetty kicks the dog. When like
Yeah.
she finds they go back out, they like go out somewhere, and that's why she's like rage eating the Haagen Dazs and like kicking and kick the dog. And then they do like a montage of like her banging Sam all over the fucking place. And now we see that she's engaged and
Yeah.
she's got that ring on. And I was like, is he divorced? Like, I don't even know if he's divorced. I wrote, and then Allie has like been out with him wherever she is, and then she comes home, and Hetty's like sitting there in the dark, and that's when she like freaks out. She's like, "Where the fuck have you been?" She's like, oh, I was just out with Sam and, we were just hanging out. And she's like, you know what? This is New York City. You could be anywhere. I haven't heard from you for 2 days. And she's like, I'm sorry. I feel like this is in high school. I feel like we're in high school. This is so weird. She's like, you're always going to get someone, your looks, your amazing personality. I was never going to get anyone. And I was like, oh my God. She's totally spiraled now. Like, this is super weird. Then I was like, okay, so Allie is always working all the time, which is super weird that she needs all this money, but she's like constantly working.
Mhm.
Then I wrote, so wait, where does some Sam live?
So
Is-
I guess he's staying in that hotel or
but
something.
then he also lives in Allie's place.
So
Like, why doesn't Allie just go over to his hotel and bang him?
I
I don't
well,
get it.
well, I think she does because
No, Hetty does.
oh yeah, no, but I thought it showed a scene of them like in the of like Allie and Sam in the hotel room.
Oh, maybe,
Or
but she doesn't go there as like it's still not his apartment. Where's all his shit?
I mean, I don't know. I guess he's in between places because you know.
I know we're thinking way too much about this, but it's just like, and then I also wrote the next scene is that um Allie has like no furniture
Yeah,
in
I
this
know.
whole apartment. She
Well,
has her mattress on the floor, which nothing wrong with that, but like it
well,
just feels like she would have like this grand bed
well. That's why I'm thinking her old work partner used to live with her because
and then took all the furniture, you
yeah,
think?
yeah, um,
But you think it was like a family apartment? Like rent control is a whole episode here.
yeah.
Like you
I
don't
mean,
just get a rent controlled apartment that's like that. Like it
yeah.
has to be someone's family.
I know, right? Like, and I mean, this is obviously not this. These are other things to get mad at. But Carrie Bradshaw's apartment in Sex and the City was rent controlled too, and like
Yeah.
she paid nothing for it, and that's also like a great TV apartment. Like, I mean,
Yeah, it's small, but it's so great.
I don't get how these things happen to horrible people. Like,
Right? And same
yeah,
with Friends. Don't even get me started about
I
Friends,
know,
which is like
right?
a god awful show. But the fucking apartment was like the most unrealistic thing I've ever seen. And anyone who lives in New York will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just insane. And then we get that weird scene of like fucking Allie waking up and like, oh, Sam is there. Sam's
Oh,
in
yeah.
Allie's bed, and she sees like what's her name? Hedy like masturbating at night.
Yeah, and
And then she totally okay. Hetty hears something, and then she totally like, and I think she hears the dog, and then she totally like opens the door. And of course, I was like, you know, she heard you because how did she get the dog back in the place? And how did she get back in the bed to pretend she was sleeping and the dog's not running around like awake?
I mean, I don't know.
It was pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
You ever had?
no.
Do you have any embarrassing roommate sex stories?
I do. Okay. When I was 18 and I'd just gone to college, I went 2 weeks before for like an intensive writing program because they were like, okay, you got in, but you got to take this intensive because I was like pretty like weak in English class, right?
Yeah.
So I took this like 2 week intensive and I had certain roommates during that time. And then when the school year started, like they stayed my roommate until we got like placed to other places. So
Mhm.
I had this roommate and I like won't say her name, but I had this roommate that I lived with, and she was, I guess, the first person I'd ever lived with, like outside of high school, like, you know, like on my own or whatever. And she was like super prissy. I remember when her and her mom came to set up her room and they had like matching everything. Like she had a matching little like pink rug outside of her bed. Her bed had everything matching. Like she had a bed skirt. She had like big fancy pillows, shams, like the whole nine.
Ew.
And mine was just basic like Target sheets
Yeah.
and like a blanket because I was like, I don't know, people will steal my shit. Like I don't know what college is like. It's just probably crazy. Anyway, she was super prissy. And we didn't not get along. We were just really different people, but it was
Yeah.
fine. And then one time she was like, hey, like, you know, I might want to have this guy over, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, like, I'll totally leave. And one of my other friends has like a living room in their suite. So I'll just go stay on the couch or whatever. And she's like, okay, cool. So I did that one time. All right. So one time I went to bed super early and I woke up and she was fucking having sex with this dude
Ew.
in the same room as me.
Ew. God.
Yeah, and I woke up because of everyone knows that fucking awful sound.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god." And I was like, "Ah," and I like ran out and just like went down to like the hall, like the main hall lounge like in the lobby and just sat there.
Yeah.
And I waited for a while and I was like, "Oh god, I hope." And then I called my friend and I was like, "Oh shit. I gotta hide out." It was like 4 in the morning and they're like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, I gotta hide out."
Oh,
Yeah,
God. Ugh.
yeah, that was pretty bad. I also was supposed to go to one of my guy friends' places in college, and he was like, "Oh yeah, come by after your class or whatever. Like I'll leave my door open." And totally walked in on him jerking off. That was kind of super awkward. But also like really funny at the same time because it
Yeah.
was like back in the day when guys had like magazines. This is how fucking old I feel. It was like maybe almost 20 years ago now. It was like early 2000s. But yeah, it was just like really funny. And I was just like, and I think I like waited a little, like I didn't immediately like open door and then shut it as far. Like I don't think I made a full walk in. I definitely didn't full walk in and close the door.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't
Well,
like that. But I
well,
definitely like
well,
walked in. And was like,
it's weird because when stuff happens like that happens to you, you're like in shock, and it takes a while
yeah,
for like, your brain to catch up with what's going on. So like
yeah. I was
you're
like,
yeah, you're just kind of like system processing. Okay,
yeah.
I need to get out of here.
Wait, back up, fast
Yeah,
though, not slowly, fast out. And then it was so funny because I was like in the hallway. I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry." He was like, "That's all right. Can you give me like 2 minutes?" Like, okay. And I was in the hallway, and I remember like some people that I knew were in the hallway, and like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Yeah, he's in there," and they're like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Is this
oh
normal?
that
Does he do this all the time?"
Oh god, I mean, it's like horrible to walk in on someone, but then to have to explain it to other people,
Yeah,
like
it's like it's pretty weird.
that's I don't know. I'm sorry.
Do you have any horrible sex stories?
Um,
Roommate stories?
so when I was in boarding school, I had
Ooh, here we go. Strap in, guys.
so when I was in boarding school, I had a roommate who would like violently masturbate, and
Wait, really? I'm not gonna say the name, but is this the one I'm thinking of that later got in trouble
no,
with
that
the
was
law?
it was the one before the one who you're
Oh, okay, okay.
but like it was weird because like you I got like dropped off at boarding school. My anxiety is like through the roof. I'm like
Yeah.
mad at my parents. I was like, why am I here? I don't understand. And then I like wake up and it sounds like someone is like kneading dough, and like
Ew!
it just sounded like
Ew! What was that?
I mean, it just means he was jerking off super hard. But like, and
Oh,
and
Jesus.
the thing is, had he been attractive, it probably wouldn't have bothered me that much. But like, I don't know.
I just feel like all male boarding schools are like some form of gay porn.
Yeah,
Like I feel like at any moment, like that movie School Ties, which is also really good, that has like what Brendan Fraser, Matt Damon, I think like Ben Affleck's in there, like Chris O'Donnell. I was like, this is very close to just being a gay porn,
yeah.
like very close.
Well, the thing is like he actually, out of the two roommates I had during that year, he actually turned out to be the best. So because
Wow.
because he got switched out with like someone else and who was just absolutely awful, and he like later gave me his like he I like later looked him up on Facebook like maybe a while ago, and it said, hey, if you need me, I'm going to be spending the next 3 years at this prison in Florida for armed robbery. And
Oh my
and
god.
like my first thought was, why would anyone need you?
Yo, who's leaving like an away message on your fucking Facebook?
I know.
Being like, hey, sorry, I'm away. I would be away for 3 years if you need me. Like, what the fuck, bitch? If I need you, like, why? Like, how would I write you on Facebook?
I, I,
Like,
was, I was like, I'm not going to write you in prison. I don't. I just
I,
can't do this.
yeah, like, no. Oh god. Okay, so after that incredible awkward exchange, uh, I think like that night, Allie's like been given like sleeping pills.
Yeah.
And she like and Hetty's kind of like trying to flirt with Sam too, which is not the last time she does that, but she literally is just like, oh hey. And then I think she gives Allie a sleeping pill because Allie like wakes up like all groggy, I think.
Mhm.
And then she sees that Sam and Hetty are like having
Oh,
breakfast.
was this after? Um, was this after that horrible thing happened to the dog?
No, the dog's about to happen.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because after breakfast they leave and the dog like stands at the door when Hetty or no when Allie and Sam leave, and the dog's like whining at the door, and Hetty's like,
Yeah.
come here dog, come here, like come here, and like the dog like does not like her, like just
Yeah.
because obviously she's kicking the dog, she's acting super crazy. And then that's when Allie comes back and the dog is like at the she like hears
Oh, and it
screaming,
was
and the
so
dog
horrible.
down, and the dog dies and has been thrown out of the window.
Yeah.
I think it's probably thrown, right? The dog didn't jump out there. Like she threw it out.
Yeah. That's
And then she sabotaged it. And then she said that like the railing that Sam was supposed to have fixed, like he fucked up.
yeah.
The dog got out. So yeah.
Oh, poor buddy.
I was so sad. And then I said like and there's like no turning back. Allie's all upset. Actually, the sleeping pills are not in yet. I misspoke
Oh,
there.
okay.
Hetty is all like super, she's like, oh no, like oh my god, like this is so terrible. And then that's when she gives Allie the sleeping pills
Right.
because she's like, oh, you're feeling really upset, blah blah blah. Yeah. It's just so weird. Like I'm just trying to think of like a possible scenario of like this happening and then her just being like, oh here, hold on, like take these sleeping pills, you'll feel way better. Then she proceeds to like go to Sam, and like she's all crying and upset, and that's one of my favorite scenes was when he like totally rebuffs her, and Hedy's like grabbing his arm and he's like slowly closing the door like on her, like, okay, bye.
And he's just like, I'm so sad. And he's just like, no,
Yeah, he just goes like,
no.
No.
I okay, I'm okay, no.
Okay, no. And then I wrote, oh, the sleeping pills. Oh god. Allie goes to like a party, an after party to sell her new software with Steven Tobolowsky, who's like in fucking everything.
Oh yeah.
He's in like
Well, I know him as Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day.
oh yeah, that's right. He's
Ned
really in everything.
Ned Ryerson?
Then he punches him in the
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
That's another good one too. Another good movie too. I know him in like he's in Californication. He's in Silicon Valley. He's in a lot. He's in like that show One Day at a Time that like one of my friends watches. Like it's really crazy. But he's the guy that Allison's like selling her software to.
Yeah.
And then he hits on her, and like she's like, "Well, I just want his contacts." So like I'll just do whatever I can because I don't care about the money. He just has all these contacts in like this whatever fashion software world. And I was like, but he literally assaults her and like pulls his dick out. She like kicks him.
Yeah, I have to say I have to say this like assault scene was like really scary.
It was really scary when he has like his hand down her dress.
Yeah, and
I was like, what the fuck, dude?
It just got really violent. Like, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know. It just for some reason I feel like this scene probably bothered me more than like anything else that happened in the movie. Like, I don't know, it was just scary. But yeah.
Let's see. So after that, yeah, she kicks him in the dick, and then she's like, Hedy's like, come on, let's go to the hair salon. We'll feel way better. And here's
well, we do have that awesome scene where she comes home and like, Hedy is basically like consoling her, and like she like calls him up, and she like or she looks him up in or she takes Allie's like address book.
Oh yeah.
And she like calls him up and he's like, if you bad mouthing, I'm gonna fuck you up or something.
That's right. And then she like hangs up, and Allie looks at her like, what the fuck? And Hedy's like,
oh my god.
Yeah. Fuck those guys. I was like, oh my god. That's right. And then they go to the hair salon. She's like, I want to cheer you up. Let's go to the hair salon. And then I was like, oh my god, the transformation.
Yeah. Okay. So like I think I talked about this before, but Bravo has this like countdown of like the 100 scariest scenes in movies, and like this hair transformation scene I think was number 56.
Oh shit! That's pretty high.
Yeah.
I think the name I have that written down for the possible quotes for the name of the episode is "You've got to be kidding."
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because it's like that totally captures like what she says right when she sees her. Okay, everyone, brace yourself. Hedy is now Allie.
Yeah,
she literally looks exactly like her. Has this awful carrot red hair, fucking weird mushroom bowl cut. Like it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, oh my god, the transformation reminds me of one of the America's Next Top Model makeovers. Who is your favorite top model makeover?
Oh gosh.
If you can think of one.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to say Shandy from season 2.
Good one. Yeah, from season 2.
Yeah, or
season 2.
Guess it was a cycle 2.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
I also love Allison Harvard.
Allison Harvard forever.
Yeah, from Cycle 12, I think.
Oh god, she's so perfect. The fact that she didn't win is like blasphemy.
Oh my god, what drives me crazy is that they brought her back for All Stars and she got second again. And
she totally should have won, and they took the crown away from Angeli?
Yeah, and they didn't give it to her. They gave it to Lisa.
Lisa.
Like, it's like, what is? I'm sorry, but this is just a trash show.
Yeah, it always was, and it really solidified it being super trash. I was just like, no. Okay, so then we find out, okay, she's gotten the makeover, and then she's like, I think Allie is like, oh, I think she's taking a shower. Hedy's like, I'm taking a shower with my new hair. Yeah. And then Allie goes again and finds the box, and investigates in her room and finds out that her twin drowned at age 9 and was not stillborn like she
Yeah,
originally said.
this scene was like so intense.
It
Like,
really like the tension was building up because you were like, oh my god, she's gonna catch her.
yeah, and
She's totally
then
gonna catch her and it's gonna be
and
nuts.
then like there's like a scene where like her and Sam are talking, and like he said, "Didn't you get the keys to the apartment? I like sent them with a letter." And like Allie's like, "I didn't get your letter, Sam." And
Mm-hmm.
then she like finds it in like Hetty's box, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh God."
And she reads it and then
Mhm.
she's like, oh my god. And then she hears Hedy coming and she like tries to like crumple it up, throw it back in the box, put it back in the closet. And then she like gets out of the room and then she sees that Hedy's leaving and she's like wearing this like fancy outfit, like all, like looks like her. And then she goes and follows her. I was like, ooh, I love a good taxi chase.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
don't lose her. I'm trying to catch
yeah.
her. So she gets in the cab and then she follows her into like an S&M club.
Uh huh.
And then she like sees that she's at this bar, like saying her name is Allie. And
Yeah.
she's like and she like talks to the bartender as if like she's a regular. And she's like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, what do you want, Al? And she's like, two, whatever, like whatever my drink is. And she's like sitting with some dude. I was like, maybe she finesses dudes for money.
Yeah, maybe.
And like that's how she gets money because she doesn't really work, I don't think. That bookstore was weird because I thought she was just using the bookstore's phone because some random woman like came up to her and she was just on the phone like calling and then she's like, they're like, where are the biographies? She's like, over there by the wall. Like I thought she was just kidding and she was just like grabbing the phone and like calling just
Yeah.
because she like needed a phone, but I didn't know if she like actually worked there because they never show her again.
Oh yeah,
Then
maybe.
yeah, and then so she sees Hedy at this group and she like at this like sex club. She runs out, goes to Graham's apartment, and then she's just like, "Oh my god, she's crazy. She's cut her hair like me." Literally saying everything that we've already known. Okay, so we were talking about oh yeah, so Allie has seen Hedy at this weird S&M club
Hmm.
and she's like oh my god, she goes back home and goes up to Graham's apartment and then she's telling him like all the crazy stuff that she's done and like she's cut her hair like her and and Graham's just like get rid of her.
Yeah.
Gotta get rid of her. And not to mention this whole time Allie's engaged
Yeah.
and she's supposed to tell Hedy like look, we need the apartment, like we're
Yeah.
gonna like she's gonna try to kick her out, but Graham is like she needs to get help, like like it's crazy. In the meantime, Hedy has come back home, knows that Allie's not there and hears through the vents because we can hear through the vents, people.
Oh, that foreshadowing paid off.
Right. Oh, thank god we know how she heard. Because now she's like fuck this, she goes up into his apartment. How does she get in?
I thought she I
Oh,
thought
the
that
keys.
yeah, I thought she takes Allie's keys or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, 'cause I know that Allie was supposed to be cat sitting, but I guess he's home now.
Yeah.
And she like has the keys, so she goes up. She's like sneakily around in there, and then she gets into this like giant. Okay, she leaves. Like Allie leaves, goes back, and then throughout this whole time, uh, Hedy like comes out of the shadows and fucking beats Graham with the security lock.
I know, that made me so sad.
I know. I was like, oh no, and totally just leaves him. And I was like, fucking shit, man. We'll get back to Graham later.
Yeah.
Allie is back home, and then Hedy comes in, and then she's just like, I really want to make sure that. And then this is when she tells her, like, yo, we're gonna need the apartment. Like,
Hmm.
we need to do all this stuff. And then she's like, look, we're gonna need this place. And Hetty's just like, you're so weak, Allie. You know he's gonna cheat again. That's what he does. He totally cheats. And then
I mean,
it reminds me of Nancy in The Craft.
oh yeah.
And she's like, because she's weak.
I mean,
Just
I mean,
funny.
to be fair, a man who cheats once will probably cheat again. So
Most
it's
likely.
not that far fetched, but you know.
And Allie, are you the other woman or no?
I mean,
Like,
we. I mean,
what's
we don't really get the ex-wife's perspective in this movie, but I kind of feel like Allie's the bad guy.
yeah, I feel like she might be the the temptress, the
Yeah.
mistress, the home wrecker of the situation. And then of course before Hetty's come down, Allie's like called and found out the parents' number.
Yeah.
And like the
Yeah.
parents like call and Hetty comes back in and she answers the phone and it's like, oh no, this is when she's talking to them at first. She's like the parents are talking to Allie and they're like, oh my God, like tell her to come home, like no doctors this time.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh, okay, so this is like something that's happened before, like clearly. And then and then she says and she says, then I'm like, wait, so Sam has just gotten back into town. He was gone for a while. And he calls and he's like, hey, is Allie there? Like, tell her I'm in. And Hetty's like, no, but she'll come get you, whatever. She's asleep. It's like 2 a.m. And she's like, do you want me to tell her to like call you? And he's like, no, just tell her to surprise me. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, and I was like, all right, Hetty goes dressed as Allie and fucking looks like it's such a weird situation. I always remembered this scene differently, but then when I saw it, I was like, this is really weird. Like,
I mean, I have to say, I do love that silver coat she's wearing.
oh, the silver trench. Yeah, I wrote that in
Yeah.
my fashion notes. And she had it on one time, and then I remember like when one of the first times it was so funny when Hetty's like walking with Allie, and she's like, "How do you know how to dress? Like, you're just so New York." And she's moved there too because I think she talks to Graham like, I don't know, maybe I should just move back. Like maybe I don't
Oh.
belong here. Like maybe couldn't make it here. And she's like, maybe I should just move back. And that's when Graham's like, no, you got to go after this. Like you really want it. I was like, bitch, you have a rent controlled apartment. Why the fuck are you going anywhere?
I mean, having a place to live in New York, like a stable place, probably solves about 80% of your problems.
I was gonna say it's
Like,
literally 80% of the fight.
yeah, I mean,
Like it's really insane. And then I wrote, yeah, and then I was like, Sam and Hetty, I love this conversation between Sam and Hetty in the hotel. Like after he finds out that he's getting a blowjob from Hetty, not Allie.
yeah,
And then she essentially like forces him to finish, which I find really funny. That he doesn't like jump up and go like, oh my god, you're the fucking crazy ass roommate. But I don't think he knows how crazy she is because he hasn't seen the hair yet.
yeah,
So now he knows she's fucking crazy. And then that's when Hetty's like, no, Allie needs me. We're like everything to each other. Blah blah blah. Like if you don't fucking break up with her and tell her you're gone back to your ex-wife, I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna
yeah,
tell her everything we did. And he's like, you know what? You don't have to even do that because I'm gonna tell her. And then as
yeah,
soon as he turns around to go to the door, she fucking throws her heel and it lands straight in his eye and
yeah,
like bam. I was like,
yeah.
oh shit. Um wow. I wrote this is insane. So then she's back, and the next time she's back in the apartment, and the next time we see Hetty, she's like furiously cleaning, scrubbing prints all over the fucking apartment. She's like, I'm moving out. I'm moving out today. And then Allie's like, what? You're moving out today? She's like, yep, I'm moving out today. And she like goes and takes all of her stuff. I'm gonna leave my stuff in the storage cage, just so I won't bother you guys. So, I'm gonna go downstairs. And then of course, like when she sees that weird dress floating in the tub or in the sink with all the blood on it, she's like, yeah, my time of the month always comes when I have something nice on too. I was like, oh. I was like, wow, this is too much. And of course, Allie sees like the floor and she sees one of the heels has like a blood residue
Yeah, well,
on it.
I guess she finds out that she's making that smoothie, and she overhears the story on the news, and
Yeah.
then then she sees the heel and puts like two and two together because she calls the hotel and asks for Sam's room, and the guy's just like, "I'm sorry, there's been a terrible accident,
Terrible,
terrible accident."
terrible. And I wrote, yeah, Hetty tells Allie, like, yeah, I killed Sam. Apparently he was like forcing me to give him oral or whatever, and then he found out and like she got into a struggle, and that's her reasoning. But she's like, no, he was gonna cheat. I told you he was gonna cheat. I told you. I was like, oh my god. And she's like, I was like, now she's planning to be her in order to save her, all to kidnap her. Flashback, I wrote just like Kelly in 90210. When Kelly Taylor had that stalker who was like trying to kill her to be her to kidnap her.
I mean, oh god, I 90210 is just awesome.
I was watching Snowbound or Snow Driven or whatever the fuck it was the other day. It's a great episode where Kelly is just like off the rails,
Oh,
literally, no pun intended,
it,
off no problem.
is that like during her cocaine phase?
Yeah, with Colin, the
Oh my god,
artist.
that is like the best title ever.
Yeah, I think it's like
I
Snowbound or
oh,
like
okay.
Snow Drive. It's something like that.
I also love the episode called Euphoria, where like that girl who Brandon is dating basically drugs his drink and like makes him like tricks him into taking like a drug called Euphoria.
Which is like ecstasy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's weird because Brandon was so much more likable on drugs than he
he
is.
really
Like
was. He
anyway,
definitely was.
but yeah.
And also that weird plot twist in like season 1 and 2 when like David put meth in his orange juice to like stay up. I was
um,
like, what is happening here?
Oh yeah, and then one more episode that always sticks with me is when Brenda is like behind the counter at the diner after hours, and that guy comes in and like robs the
Oh
place.
yeah, that one was scary.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was one of those like tension episodes. We were like,
mhm,
oh my god, something crazy is about to happen.
yeah. Anyway,
Um, yeah, okay. Anyway, so after Kelly and 90210's weird note that I have there, I was like, drags her to Graham's apartment, and then she's like holed up in there in that apartment, and then like she's got the keys and no one's gonna be looking. Hedy's hair dyes back to brown, and then one of my favorite scenes is like Hedy's dyeing her hair. She's like, I can't be you anymore, I've got to be myself. And then she comes out and she's like talking to her like they're friends, and you just see Allie like tied up in this chair
yeah.
with like
Oh my god, the expression on Allie's face is like priceless. Like,
like all of us. It's
yeah.
like all of us were just like, what the fuck? And then I wrote, she's Allie's all tied up. Hedy goes cashing checks with the P.O. box people. The
Mhm.
P.O. box people call her by her real name. This is Miss Pesh.
Yes.
Um, then I wrote, Allie tries to get out, plays that music really loud. And then Hedy also mentions the same thing happened in Tampa. That
Oh, that's right.
she's like taken someone else's shit, and she's like, it's really hard to like, do this and like come back. And that's when she like grabs a knife
Yeah.
like from the kitchen, and she like walks out. And then Allie tries to manipulate her into like not hurting her. She's like, we'll be together, it's okay, like don't worry about it, we'll stay together. And then
Yeah.
she's like, all right, we'll book flights, we'll get out of here. And then they hook up the modem to the fucking phone line computer, and then she goes and like tries to book this stuff, and then she clicks off to like 911, fucking trying to type out like,
Yeah.
help, I'm in this area, I'm in this apartment, doesn't get there.
Yeah.
Fucking Hedy walks in, of course, totally
Yeah.
grabs her.
Seeing like 1992, that 1992 like Mac word processor was just like, whoa.
Yeah, it
Like
was
I was
so
like, oh my
basic.
god.
It was so like basic. I was like, Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Like, it was before color. Like
Yeah.
that shit was just like a fucking gray and black dot screen.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts. I wrote, yeah, they hook up the modem to the computer. Mitch comes in because she's now rigged the security feature that when you don't pay her, all of your files go away. So the one that essentially assaulted her is coming to her apartment to like probably fucking assault her again because she's
Yeah.
like he hasn't paid. And he sees what's her name, Hedy, like she went and grabbed like a suitcase because I don't know what the fuck she's gonna do, put her body in the suitcase.
Mhm.
She grabs and he sees her suitcase, and he's like, do you know Allie? Oh, I think you know someone, but you have her suitcase. And then he barges his way in, locks her out for a second. We almost think that they're gonna be okay.
Yeah, and I do love that scene when he walks in and she sees Allie like on the floor, basically all tied up, and he takes the tape off her mouth, and she's able to get out. You got to help me. She's crazy, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so weird because like this is a guy who like he like tried to rape her. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. It's just weird that I guess it didn't really end too well for him.
I
But
wrote a very 90s fight ensued is what I wrote.
yeah,
And then I wrote, she shoots Mitch mafia style with a pillow as a silencer. Like what? She's literally over him pulling like a John Wick, like putting a pillow down, and like an assassin just shooting him to muffle the sound, and like bam,
yeah,
bye. And then Hedy just says like, She just kind of is like, I'm suicidal, like I don't want to be anyone. It's really sad. Like this really is like just a terrible tale of like a bad mental health problem that
Yeah.
clearly she's run away, and her family is like, I guess, trying to get in contact with her, but she blames herself for her twin's death.
Hmm.
And she's just never gotten over it. So I think she's always trying to recreate like another identity, like as she's trying to create a twin again. Like,
Yeah.
she's trying to like form that bond again. And then she says that her twin used her and left her and like used what she wanted from her. And like she was always the one who had to be like the like overcompensate because the other one was just so like everyone loved her.
Her twin was also 9. So
Yeah, I was gonna say you were
like,
16. Like
yeah.
I don't know what deep problems happened, but clearly it was insane. And then I wrote the best part: the fucking elevator fight was
Yeah, this
like
was so badass.
so badass, so gnarly. They got in this insane fight, and like because obviously Allie is not willing to commit suicide for Hedy to like, so she's like run out, and then they like literally Hedy chokes Allie out in this elevator. I'm so surprised that she didn't die.
Yeah.
But I guess she was passed up for just enough time, and Allie like is left for dead in the hallway of this fucking dark ass basement.
Well, she also gets shot too. Like
Oh
when
yeah, in the shoulder.
like when she's trying to make it from the apartment to the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. Things are getting pretty serious.
Things are getting intense. Hedy has gone into a storage closet and grabbed like a hook from I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
And she's like fucking walking around like Allie, come out. Like, where are you? I was like, fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
And then there's this cat and mouse chase. Just this
Yeah.
insane cat and mouse chase. And then Allie grabs that fucking screwdriver and
And
stabs her like, right in the middle of the back.
I
From the
know.
top, like upside down. She's really like set a good trap. She put like part of her shirt outside that armoire, and then she was
Yeah.
like on top of it. So when she grabs it and tries to lunge, she's like on top, and then she stabs her in the back, and she gets her right where you can't like pull it out.
Yeah.
But then she pulls it out and just starts like fucking
Stabs her again.
like stabbing her multiple times. And then I was like, well, it really sucks that they couldn't just get her help. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because granted, yeah, she had tried to kill her with the gun and everything, but like, it just sucks that they couldn't have sedated her,
Yeah.
and just gotten her help. And then at the end, my final note was, so she gave up that apartment in the end?
I know, and she had to move into the one that she went to go look at with Sam. That's like half the size for twice the rent.
Yeah,
Like,
that was my final note.
I'm just saying, for a rent controlled apartment, I would probably learn to get over it. But that's just me.
Yeah, I would
mean-
just paint it and maybe redo it.
Yeah.
Totally different.
You could just just you don't have to worry about rent. You could probably you could probably feng shui the shit out of that place.
Hell yeah.
I don't know.
This keeps us going into the we finished the plot points, now we're into like the theme and the mood and the location, which is all this goddamn apartment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love the floors.
Mhm.
I love the giant windows.
Yeah. I love I do too. I also love how there's a door to it, how when you're in the foyer, it's basically like kind of a circle, and there's you can basically close the door off to each of the rooms.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just such a great foyer, and there's so much light, and
It's great.
it just seems like a wonderful place to live.
It really does.
Yeah.
For the music, there's just that Pretender song in the credits.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any other music in there.
I don't think so either. I do really like the original score. I thought it was done quite well.
A correction, it's actually performed by Mood Swings featuring the voice of Chrissy Hind.
Oh, okay.
It's written by Vangelis and John Anderson, called State of Independence. That's the one in the credits.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So what are your fashion notes?
Fashion notes. Okay, so we talked about the silver trench coat.
Yeah, that was cool. It's cool on both of them.
The scene after Sam gets killed, I really love Allie's nightgown that she's wearing.
Oh, is it the peach one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's cool.
And then my other one is in the scene where Hedy and Allie meet for the first time, I just love Allie's outfit because she's wearing like the denim kind of like linen like button down shirt
Oh
and like
yeah, the chambray.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like blue chambray.
And I think she's wearing a pink like a short like pink skirt with it that just looks really comfy.
Yeah, that is
Um
pretty cool.
yeah. So yeah.
Let's see. For mine, I have Allie's like baggy, minimal sometimes.
Mhm.
She has I like that beige belted blazer that she
Oh
has like
yeah.
that one's really cool. I wrote the silver trench. I
Is
wrote like she has baggy silhouettes.
is the blazer what she wears to meet like that guy for the first time during the lunch?
I think so
Okay.
because Hattie gets it too.
Okay.
Remember, she comes
Oh
home and
right.
she's like, "Oh, I know
Oh
you have the same belt," because she buys
yeah.
like her same clothes,
Oh yeah.
and then
Well, there is like that kind of like creepy scene where like Allie is running late and she's trying to like find a certain outfit and
oh yeah,
she looks and then she's trying to just like oh I guess in her mind she's like oh Hedy probably borrowed it and she
yeah,
goes into Hedy's room and looks through her closet and she thinks like she found it and then she goes back into her closet and finds like her outfit and she
yeah.
realizes wait Hedy's been buying my clothes.
Yeah,
Like,
like literally buying them.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's even more insane. It's not like she's just like borrowing them.
yeah.
I love that red polka dot dress that Hetty has.
Oh yeah,
I think it's like
so
one of
funny.
the early outfits that she wears. It's really cool.
Mhm.
I like that brown baggy tee and like the pleated skirt that Hetty has. That's the same color.
Oh, okay.
It's like a weird, like a terracotta, like a
Yeah.
burnt sienna color. And then I love her salon outfit. She has
Okay.
literally like the black belted blazer and like the pants. It's so like executive realness 90s
Yeah.
slash like leggings and stuff. So it's really cool. I really
the
like it.
the 1990s power bitch look is like probably one of my favorites.
It is
Like,
pretty cool with the
yeah,
shoulder pads.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like, yeah, it was just a little bit less shoulder paddy than the 80s. Like
Mhm.
it brought him down a little bit, but it still had him sitting out there.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your favorite scenes?
My favorite scenes. So I it's I don't know. I guess okay. So when she follows Hetty in the cab, I
Hmm.
love that shot when she gets out and like when she gets out of the cab and she's like about to follow her into the sex club.
Hmm.
And then I like the scene when Graham is able to kind of like regain consciousness and kind of like
Oh
basically
yeah, we forgot to mention Graham is not dead.
yeah, he's fine. I guess
Yeah.
he probably has like some head injuries or whatever, but I guess he's cool. So like, and then I know it doesn't end well, but I have to say the scenes with Buddy just make me so happy.
I know.
I mean,
Buddy's so
I
cute.
know he looks so fluffy.
Anytime they kill dogs, I'm just like, no.
Well, yeah, well, and thank God they didn't show it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
thank God. Yeah.
so, yeah,
Are those your favorite scenes?
yeah, I'd say so.
I have the roommate interview scene montage was
Mhm,
pretty
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
I have yeah when she follows her to that S&M club. I like the whole like car chase taxi thing.
mhm.
I think that's pretty cool. I just like the visual of Allie taped forcefully to a chair watching wildlife specials. When she's like, "Here's the TV. You can change it. The 24 and 25 are the movie channels, and it's like lions." I was like, "This is not bad.
Yeah. I
I'd be
mean,
okay with that."
in terms of torture scenes, this is probably like on the lighter side.
Yeah, this is not Clockwork Orange.
Yeah,
We like haven't gotten that there. And then the elevator fight was
yeah,
another one.
yeah.
That's
That's
just
pretty cool.
it's so great. It reminds me of the Craft fight when they
Oh yeah.
have that intense physical fight, which I guess is more like after this because this was 92 and the Craft was like 96. Do you have any quotes? Famous favorite quotes?
I'm trying to think. I think you mentioned it before, but I love the like monologue that like Hetty does like when they're like in Graham's apartment. She's like just dyed her hair, and she's just
Mhm.
like, "Ta-da! What do you think? It looks good, right?" And and then I'm trying to think. And then I love when she goes to Graham's apartment like after after the sex club and she's like, Graham, you gotta help me. She's crazy.
That's pretty good,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good one. Mine are just what I said before. You've got to be kidding, which might be the episode name. Or I love when Hedy just repeatedly says, "I love myself like this. I love myself like this," just in the mirror, which I thought was pretty good. Um, let's see. And do you have any '90s moments?
Well, there. Let's see. I think. I'm trying to think.
They're probably the same as mine. They're all like technology based.
Yeah, I mean the fact that like when Hedy comes home, the fact that like Hedy calls up her boss using her address book is like kind of a big deal.
Oh yeah, that one is yeah.
Just because before everything was like stored in our phones, we actually had to like write stuff down. So
Yeah,
like,
and remember numbers. Like I
yeah.
remembered people's numbers.
And then I guess like the like computer screenshots were just like
Whoa.
yeah,
It
it,
was trippy.
it was a time warp. But
Let's do the time warp again. Yeah, mine was like the fashion software,
Mhm.
the modem. I was like making plane reservations on the computer, and then
Yeah.
like you said earlier, camped out in front of voicemail. Which is essentially what the '90s was about. Was either on the phone for hours at a time
So
or
wait,
camped out in front of voicemail.
so wait, before the internet, did you have to like call the airline in order to get a
Yeah.
ticket? Okay,
Yeah, it was on
okay.
the phone. That's why I was like, how did they even how was the airline even set up to receive reservations through the phone, through the computer
Yeah.
at that time? Unless they were tapping in and she was hacking the fucking plane manifest.
Yeah.
And she was like first class, and she's like, I don't know, is it worth it? And I was like, are you talking to someone on there? This is not a chat room. Like, how are you booking this? This is kind of nuts, but
Um,
it's a great film. If you haven't seen it, it's a classic. It's a thriller classic. I'm assuming you have if you've gotten to the end of the episode. But
yeah.
yeah, what were your final thoughts on it, Charles?
So I have to say, this movie has a pretty big reputation, and just going in, and I knew that going into it. And I have to say, I thought that like the movie itself did hold up to like the to the reputation that it's created.
It did.
Yeah, I love the whole cat and mouse kind of like chase scene, like in the basement. I thought that was
Mhm.
pretty badass. I to be honest, I wasn't expecting to like this movie that much, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's a
yeah,
good one. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
sleeper, but it's a good one.
yeah,
Yeah, it actually they did a sequel that was I think straight to DVD, which I don't plan on seeing, but this film is complete, like it
yeah,
didn't really need a series. Just like Poison Ivy they did, like that didn't really need a series. Like it
yeah,
was pretty complete the way it was. But yeah, I feel the same way. It was a great rewatch. It definitely held up. It wasn't as problematic.
yeah.
Like it definitely was like pretty current, and
Um,
I hope they don't remake it.
I did see like I think on like IMDb or something that I think like they have retroactively diagnosed Hedy with having a borderline personality disorder.
Oh, okay.
And I believe that's what they diagnosed Alicia Silverstone's character in The Crush with too.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, you're
so
right.
so I don't really know that much about it, but I guess it's like pretty serious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think so.
and also I think that's what Winona Ryder was diagnosed with in Girl it Interrupted.
Oh, yeah, it's another film. I think that's gonna be one to do. But
Yeah.
do you want to still keep on the same genre route?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. We'll think of we won't tell you guys now, but we'll think of another film to watch pretty soon.
Sneaky sneaky.
Yeah. So yeah, well, this is the end of the episode. I'm glad you stuck around. Give us 5 stars on Apple. Listen on Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer. I don't know. It's fucking everywhere. Fashion Grunge podcast. Tell your
Yeah.
friends, and
Tell 'em.
we will see you all on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.